Hello, and welcome to today's podcast. In this episode, we're going to explore the life of one of the greatest leaders in history, Mahatma Gandhi. This journey through his life is based on his own autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth. This book is not just a biography, but a detailed account of his personal struggles, growth, and beliefs that shaped his philosophy of nonviolence and truth. Gandhi's life is an inspiring one, filled with lessons on personal growth, courage, and the power of peaceful resistance. Through this podcast, we'll dive into the key moments and themes of his life, as narrated by Gandhi himself, and discuss how his experiences led him to become a leader of India's independence movement. Let's take a step-by-step journey into the life of a man who changed the world. Early life, a foundation of values. Mahatma Gandhi was born on 2nd October 1869 in Porbandar, a coastal town in Gujarat, India. In his autobiography, Gandhi begins by reflecting on his early childhood. He talks about his parents, especially his mother, who had a profound influence on him. His mother was a deeply religious woman who practiced strict fasting, prayer, and devotion to God. These early experiences taught Gandhi the importance of truth and nonviolence. He recalls that, as a child, he was not particularly remarkable in any way. He was shy, and like many kids, he struggled with his studies. However, there was something inside him that always sought to do the right thing, even if it wasn't always clear what the right thing was. Gandhi talks about his strong sense of morality, which was nurtured by his parents and their teachings. It was this moral foundation that would later guide him through the many challenges of his life. In his book, Gandhi mentions an incident from his early life where he made a mistake by stealing money from his brother. This act of dishonesty troubled him deeply and led to his first major experiment with truth. He confessed his wrongdoing to his father and asked for forgiveness, an experience that would stay with him for life. This moment was a turning point in his journey, and it marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to living truthfully and with integrity. Education and early struggles, learning the ways of the world. Gandhi's early education was a mix of traditional and modern teachings. He attended school in Porbandar, where he was exposed to subjects like history, geography, and arithmetic. However, he was not a particularly good student. He often struggled with studies and was not very interested in academics. His autobiography reveals that he was shy and lacked self-confidence, which made it difficult for him to perform well in school. He later went to England to study law at University College London. This was a big step for Gandhi, as it marked the beginning of his journey outside of India. He was faced with a whole new culture, and he had to adjust to the lifestyle and attitudes of the British. During his time in London, Gandhi realized how much he had to learn about the world and about himself. He was introduced to a wide range of books on religion, philosophy, and ethics, which deepened his understanding of truth and nonviolence. One of the key takeaways from this period of his life was his growing awareness of the discrimination faced by Indians living in British colonies. Gandhi felt that being a part of British society was not just about gaining education. It also meant understanding the injustice and inequality that colonialism brought to India. This realization began to shape his ideas about social justice and his determination to fight for his people's rights. The South Africa years, the birth of a leader. One of the most significant phases in Gandhi's life, as told in the story of My Experiments with Truth, was his time in South Africa. In 1893, Gandhi was invited to South Africa to work as a legal advisor to an Indian trading company. It was during his time in South Africa that Gandhi first encountered racial discrimination on a large scale. He was thrown off a train for traveling in a first-class compartment, even though he had a valid ticket. This incident shocked him deeply and ignited his passion to fight against the oppressive system. In South Africa, Gandhi began organizing the Indian community to protest against discriminatory laws that targeted Indians. he developed a philosophy of non-violent resistance, which he called satyagraha, meaning truth force or soul force. This principle was based on the idea that peaceful resistance rooted in truth and love could bring about change without resorting to violence. Gandhi spent over 20 years in South Africa, where he became a leader of the Indian community. He led several successful campaigns against racial injustice, including the famous Satyagraha movement, which saw thousands of Indians resist discriminatory laws through peaceful protests and acts of civil disobedience. These experiences in South Africa played a crucial role in shaping Gandhi's approach to non-violent activism, which he later used in India's struggle for independence. The return to India, leading the freedom struggle. In 1915, Gandhi returned to India after spending over 2 decades in South Africa. Upon his return, he was welcomed as a hero and a leader. However, Gandhi did not see himself as a hero. He viewed himself as a humble servant of the people. He spent the early years of his return traveling across India to understand the condition of the Indian people, particularly the poor and marginalized. Through his travels, Gandhi realized that India's struggles were not only about gaining political freedom from British rule, but also about addressing social issues such as untouchability, poverty, and the exploitation of women. He began promoting ideas of social equality, self-reliance, and the importance of simplicity in daily life. One of Gandhi's key contributions to India's independence movement was his leadership in the non-violent resistance against British rule. His famous Salt March in 1930, where he led a 240-mile march to the Arabian Sea to protest the British monopoly on salt, was a pivotal moment in India's struggle for freedom. The Salt March became a symbol of non-violent resistance and drew worldwide attention to the cause of Indian independence. The philosophy of non-violence and truth. In the story of My Experiments with Truth, Gandhi speaks deeply about his personal philosophy, which was built around 2 core principles: non-violence, ahimsa, and truth, satya. Gandhi believed that truth was the highest form of reality and that living a truthful life was essential to personal growth. Non-violence, for Gandhi, was not just a political strategy, it was a way of life. He believed that through love, compassion, and peaceful resistance, one could achieve great change in the world. Gandhi's commitment to non-violence extended beyond politics. He believed that individuals should practice non-violence in every aspect of their lives, in their thoughts, words, and actions. He often spoke about how non-violence could lead to spiritual growth and inner peace. Similarly, he viewed truth as a powerful force that transcended all other virtues. For Gandhi, living in truth meant being honest with oneself and others, and constantly striving for self-improvement. Legacy and conclusion: a life of experimentation and learning. Mahatma Gandhi's life, as he recounts in the story of My Experiments with Truth, was a continuous journey of learning and self-experimentation. He faced numerous challenges and setbacks, but his commitment to his principles of truth and non-violence remained unwavering. Through his actions, he showed the world that true power lies not in violence or force, but in love, truth, and peaceful resistance. Gandhi's autobiography ends with reflections on his spiritual journey and his constant search for truth. He viewed his life as a series of experiments, each one aimed at understanding and embodying truth in its purest form. His life's work has left an indelible mark on the world, inspiring countless movements for justice, equality, and peace. As we conclude this podcast, we remember Gandhi not just for his role in India's independence, but for his profound philosophy that continues to inspire individuals and movements worldwide. His life reminds us that, through truth and non-violence, we too can create meaningful change in the world. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope that Mahatma Gandhi's journey, as shared in the story of My Experiments with Truth, has inspired you to reflect on your own life and the principles you hold dear. Remember, as Gandhi said, You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Keep striving for truth, peace, and non-violence. Until next time, take care and keep experimenting with truth.